There's a lot to welcome in this bill, and I support the overarching aim. However, there are several important details that still very much concern smaller operators and community transport providers in my Witney constituency, and I'm really speaking here on their behalf. I'm going to list out some of them. West Oxfordshire Community Transport, particularly Andrew Coles and Andrew Lyon and their team, and David Miles and Amanda, who've done so much for First and Last to get that moving. My fear is that the franchising frameworks and new training requirements stipulated in this bill will squeeze out community operators, and the social and economic cost will be severe, particularly in rural areas where mainstream operators have withdrawn. Section 22 community bus permit holders, those who provide transport on a not-for-profit basis without the need for a full public service vehicle operator license, ensure a real service in these communities which otherwise would be completely unserved. And this bill currently does not recognise this category at all. And this raises a couple of worries. A particular worry is that the new driver safeguarding and training requirements could become unworkable for small fleets. So the bill's provisions do not clearly differentiate between private hire vehicles, i.e. dedicated school buses, and public service buses, which may sometimes carry school children as part of the general route. In practice, that means that every driver would need full safeguarding training, regardless of the service they normally operate. For larger companies, this would be manageable, but for small operators with mixed or volunteer drivers, such as West Oxfordshire Community Transport First and Last, the infrastructure to train and certify every single driver at short notice simply doesn't exist. So community bus services already provide some training for their drivers, volunteers and employees, but what we are seeking here is proportionate requirements for drivers and transitional support to help small operators meet new reporting and training burdens. Another real threat for these community operators is around franchising and tendering. Small and community operators risk being locked out of very complex bidding processes and a lack of guaranteed inclusion in those. Competing for franchise contracts demands administrative and legal capacity well beyond what a volunteer-led organisation can manage, and what's needed to address this is explicit protection for community operators within franchising models. So there's much to welcome in this bill, and I say again there's a risk of some unintended consequences here, and I really do seek the Minister to look into it, please. Thank you.